Together, Russia and Saudi Arabia have developed a new oil strategy that has the potential to significantly alter the world energy market. A significant setback for the United States is this new alliance between the greatest oil producer in the world and one of the largest oil-producing nations. Furthermore, the strengthened ties between Saudi Arabia and Russia have led to the formation of this new alliance. The recent summit between Saudi Arabia, Russia, and OPEC Plus further solidified this cooperation. Vladimir Putin and Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman recently had a phone conversation. During the phone chat, the two leaders discussed potential methods that the OPEC Plus group of nations may cooperate to maintain the stability of the oil market. A few days later, ministers from OPEC Plus convened virtually as part of the Joint Ministerial Monitoring Committee. Additionally, according to remarks from OPEC Plus delegates, the JMMC group is anticipated to recommend maintaining the current oil output guideline. Last year, the US and Saudi Arabia disagreed over oil output objectives set by the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies. But according to the Saudi foreign minister, the kingdom made the right choice as evidenced by the market's stable oil prices. Even with this steadiness, there are still questions on how the current Western sanctions may affect Russia's oil supplies. And the cause is the country's conflict with Ukraine and the December introduced price limitations on Russian goods. The possibility of additional collaboration in the domains of politics, trade, economics, and energy was also deliberated by the Russian President Putin and the Crown Prince. It was anticipated that an OPEC Plus panel would suggest maintaining the current output policy of the oil production organization. The Joint Ministerial Monitoring Committee would talk about the status of the economy and the extent of Chinese demand, according to 5 OPEC Plus sources. They are unlikely to recommend altering the current approach, though. This is because of the 2023 oil price recovery as well as the unpredictability surrounding the sanctions against Russia and how they would affect supply. Ole Hansen, head of Saxo Bank's commodity strategy, said that because of the uncertainties, the business prefers to wait and watch. In actuality, they wish to maintain what is effective. In addition, there will be no joint technical committee meeting as planned. Regarding market conditions, the JTC often provides advice to the JMMC and the General OPEC Plus Ministerial Conference. In order to maintain market equilibrium in the midst of a struggling economy, Saudi Arabia and its allies will also keep producing oil at the levels they did the previous year, when they decreased output by 2 million barrels per day. The Deputy Prime Minister of Russia declared that there is stability in the oil market. However, a number of unknowns, including Chinese demand, interest rates, and inflation, might have an impact. As of right now, there has been volatility in oil prices, rising in the middle of the month before falling toward the end. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and its partners have adopted a cautious stance as a result of this uncertainty. They also took this action in defiance of forecasts from major players in the market, such as Trafigura and Goldman Sachs, that prices would rise later in the year. Furthermore, at a recent online meeting, the OPEC Plus Joint Ministerial Monitoring Committee chose to keep things as they are, which had no effect on crude prices. The removal of COVID-19 lockdowns in China has also resulted in more people traveling within the nation. But the economy as a whole is still getting over a recent spike in viral incidents. OPEC keeps an eye on how the sanctions are affecting Russia. There have been forecasts of lower output as a result of the European Union's growing prohibition on the importation of Russian crude and processed fuels. The good news is that oil shipments have shown remarkable resilience. OPEC chiefs have advised caution when making choices. In fact, OPEC's president, Gabriel Mbega Obiang Lima, the oil minister of Equatorial Guinea, said that the organization needs to exercise extreme caution on any decision. Despite slowing growth in some places as a result of China's recovery, OPEC Secretary General Haitham Al-Ghais is still cautiously optimistic about the state of the world economy. Cautiously optimistic is how the head of OPEC describes the status of the world economy. Haitham Al-Ghais, the leader of OPEC, is likewise cautiously optimistic about the global economy. He notes that although China's oil demand is improving, there are still indications of weakening in other sectors. Al-Ghais thinks it's a good thing that Beijing's lockdowns linked to COVID-19 have ended. He still wants to be positive, but cautiously, therefore he remains cautious. Additionally, Saudi Arabia is thinking about lowering petroleum prices to Asia for the 4th straight month. March might see a drop in the price of crude oil delivered to Asia for the 4th straight month, according to Saudi Arabia, the biggest oil exporter in the world. This is because, in spite of forecasts of a resurgence in Chinese demand, physical oil premiums are low and there are worries about oversupply. It is anticipated that Saudi Aramco, the state-owned oil corporation, will reduce the official selling price of its Arab Light crude oil. For shipments loaded in March for Asian clients, the decrease is anticipated to be around 30 cents. This would drive the price down to about $1.50 a barrel, the lowest since November 2021, above the average of Oman rates from Dubai Mercantile Exchange and Platts Dubai. China is anticipated to witness a resurgence in fuel demand, as it is the leading importer of oil. But Asia's total need for medium-grade oil is still lacking. January saw the oil trading behemoth OPEC of China acquiring cheap supplies of crude oil from North America, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi. But as long as China and India keep purchasing cheap Russian barrels, the supply glut will continue to be a problem for the Asian market. The European Union will not allow the import of Russian oil products, which will probably increase Russia's exports of crude oil. Because of worries about a worldwide recession, OPEC Plus is anticipated to stick to its present oil production goal of reducing output by 2 million barrels per day. Refining margins for fuel oil have decreased, meaning that bigger reduction are anticipated for heavier grades such as Arab Medium and Arab Heavy. 9 million barrels of crude headed for Asia are impacted by the price of crude from Saudi Arabia. Furthermore, Saudi Aramco determines the prices based on suggestions from customers as well as changes in the price of its oil over the previous month. Furthermore, it is the policy of Saudi Aramco authorities to remain silent regarding the kingdom's official monthly selling prices. Early on Wednesday, oil prices fell as it was reported that the OPEC Plus group meeting this weekend would be postponed. Delegates from Bloomberg have learned that Saudi Arabia, the head of OPEC, has expressed displeasure with the other members' production levels, leading to the postponement of the OPEC Plus alliance's ministerial meeting scheduled for November 26. The Saudis have been in discussions with other oil producers over their output, according to the unidentified delegates who informed Bloomberg that the meeting may be postponed for an indefinite amount of time. Hedge fund manager P.R.O told Bloomberg earlier on Wednesday that the kingdom would probably attempt to convince other OPEC Plus members to make more cutbacks. As the market prepares for the OPEC Plus meeting and the weekly U.S. inventory data from the AIA later today, oil prices fell 1.7% early on Wednesday. Given the recent decline in oil prices under $80 and the often sluggish period for oil consumption in the first quarter of each year, there is rising speculation that Saudi Arabia, the leading producer of OPEC, could prolong its voluntary cut of 1 million barrels per day, BPD, till 2024. Additionally, there is growing market speculation that during the group's meeting over the weekend of November 25 to 26, OPEC Plus may announce a deeper cut. There has been more talk about what OPEC Plus would decide at its meeting on November 26 as a result of the recent decline in oil prices. The extra voluntary reduction from Saudi Arabia and Russia are still anticipated to be carried out into early 2024, according to ING strategists Warren Patterson and Eva Manthi's Monday Post. But whether the larger OPEC Plus group will make additional cuts is less certain, they continued. The strategists pointed out that in the first quarter of 2024, a deeper group cut along with the Saudis and Russians rolling over their voluntary reduction would completely eliminate the market excess as it stands today. What are your thoughts on Saudi Arabia, OPEC Plus and Russia? Let me know down below. If you want to continue to learn about business investing and financial education, we have got this video waiting on the screen for you to check out. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.